It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube, and I'm here to create a space of healing and support that I hope and trust resonates with you at this time. The energy is pretty intense at the moment. There tends to be, or seems to be, quite a bit of overthinking and investing our time and attention in things that may not be the best use of our time. So keeping perspective on our priorities. And, you know, it's been pretty funny. I've been, as I've stepped into a new role that's quite quite a leadership role temporarily for a few months. I've spent the last few weeks, I don't know how long it's been now, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, really honing in on my priorities and making sure, like I'm having to check on my priority list every few days just to make sure that everything's in order of priority for me. And it's funny, you know, like sometimes things consume a lot of head space, like a lot of head time, mind time. And so that will take something that should be lower in the list up in the list, because it's so, you know, there's so much thought that's going on around that particular priority. So I've noticed I've had to sort of knock things down, keep things in perspective, bring things up, take things down on my priority list. So it's interesting, the dynamic of energy at the moment. So I don't know if we're going to explore that further in this connection, but I suppose maybe I'm talking about it for some reason. Who knows? Hi, Pirates, look out. Oh, Pirates Hideout, sorry. My brain jumped ahead there. Welcome. And Cynthia, welcome. We'll see if we can get over 6 live views. My last 2 videos have had 6 viewers live for the whole video, which is like mind-blowing in itself, considering I've got over 550,000 followers here on this page. And usually I thought it was low having about 30 live views. So we've reached 6 now. Welcome to the 6th viewer. So welcome. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Saturday the 20th of May here, 2023, and the time is 9:02 p.m. Okay, I'm really interested to see if we can get more than 6 views live. I'm going to be working with my healing energy cards today. So I'm going to be pulling one of these now, and then based on that card, I'm going to talk more about whatever it is that comes up that's related to the card. And then I've got my quartz singing bowl that I'm going to play to support that energy. And then I will pull a card to go. So I'll be here for approximately 20 minutes. So take a nice big breath, and I trust you've been led here for a reason. So I trust that something shared supports you at this time. And if it doesn't resonate, just let it go. Anything that comes up, there might be parts that you resonate with and parts that you don't, and that's okay. So trust you've been led here for a reason. And let's see what that reason is for us. What do we need to know, the majority of us? So, 6, 7 of us, if you include me, in this moment. And, of course, when you're watching the replay later. So what is it that we need to know right now? So the best card that relates to that and reflects what we need to know now is this card. It's from my Healing Energy Cards Deck 2, which has been combined with my Deck 1 here. And it's this card 77. Oh my goodness, we just got our 7th live viewer. Now 8. Facebook is going to have a meltdown. Or I might have a meltdown. It's card 77 called Call for Help. Hi, Andrea. It's in the Rise category here. And down here it says, see how this resonates with you, is what I'm adding here at the beginning. Be open to giving or receiving assistance. Signal, don't be stubborn, let help come. Reach out, make the announcement, support and communicate. Don't be stubborn. Let help come. It's so weird, isn't it? We tend to have this tendency, a lot of us, to need help and want help, and we're doing it all, and then when help is offered, we push it away, and we can tend to say, no, I don't need help right now, or no, you're not going to be able to do this the way I want, or oh, it's going to take me too long to explain. So we tend to push help away, and we stubbornly take on all this stuff that we take on. So this is something that's relevant really with this card, and perhaps something that you've been doing as well. And a part of helping us resolve this can be to say, okay, yes, please help me, or I'll show you what I need to do here, and maybe start delegating chores a little bit more and delegating tasks. And it takes me back to what I was talking about at the very beginning about creating priorities and an order of things so that we can make sure our time and attention, including our thoughts, are invested in the things that are the most important to us at the time. And sometimes things come up, and sometimes there's exceptions to that where we have to put our priorities aside and we've got this certain thing we need to focus on, and that's an exception to this. But in general, we can create an order that is like a hierarchy of order, of focus, so what we are going to focus our time and attention on, and make sure we maintain that as best as we can, and also assess that priority list fairly regularly. Usually, not right now, but usually I'm assessing my priorities list about once a month. And also if I've gone through a big period of change, so it could be physical change, or it could be a change in me, like a healing period, or a change in something that I'm doing in my life, or if things are out of balance, I will also look at my priorities. So as I change, my priorities are going to shift as well. They might not shift much. Sometimes they shift a lot and sometimes they don't. But to reassess them is, I find, really valuable. But at times like now, it may need assessing much more regularly than once a month. So see how you go. But also this card is about calling for help. So do you need help? Have you been putting out cries for help because you don't know what to do, or you're in a low place, or you're confused, or you're feeling doubtful, or you're feeling intimidated, you're feeling inadequate about yourself and your abilities? There's a lot of this energy around as well. And before I continue, I do recommend, there's a bunch of spreads, as in card spreads, on my website. Oh my gosh, 12 people, welcome. A bunch of card spreads on my website, and one of the ones on there is called the Please Help Me spread. And I recommend it if you're in a place of, please help me, I don't know what to do, state, then to go to that spread and grab your cards. I've made it to go with the healing energy cards, but it could be any deck of cards, to get some clarity and some perspective on the current major issue or issues that you're dealing with. So if you go to templeofbalance.com.au and look up the blog tab, the blog tab has a drop down menu with a bunch of other card reading spreads that I've created. But the Please Help Me spread, I even did that a couple of days ago because I was in a dire space and I needed help. So, and I kept thinking in my head, please help me, please help me. And then I'm thinking, oh yes, that spread. So I went straight to that spread to help give me perspective on what I was dealing with, so I could sort things out, because things felt confusing and unsorted and difficult. So the spread just allows us to get some order into things. So if you need help and you're calling out, please help me, then maybe that's a resource you can go back to anytime. So maybe bookmark that if you want to. So what are you calling out, and what do you need help with? What are you being stubborn about and pushing away? What feels messy and out of order, and how can you get that order back? Your priorities, for example. And getting things clear, like even just earlier for me, just a few hours ago, when I was taking a bath and I was starting to overthink things again. That's when I looked back at my priorities list and I'm like, okay, this thing is consuming so much airspace that it's number one on my priorities in actuality, but I want it to be number 5. So then I had to keep perspective and go, okay, this is not really that important. And it shifted things straight away. And then I started telling myself, there's an affirmation I really like that says, know yourself and don't be afraid. And then I adapted that to more like a personal affirmation, which resonates with me, which is, I know myself, so I don't need to be or need to feel afraid. So we know ourselves, and there is this overwhelming, strange energy around at the moment that seems to be, and it's not just me because there are other people reaching out that feel similar, is trying to keep us small and suck out our confidence and our ability to know ourselves. Even though we know ourselves, there's like this suddenly we don't know ourselves anymore, and we don't know if we are capable or able or adequate for certain things that we have to deal with right now. So there is this drop, or like suddenly we just don't know ourselves for some reason. So I found that I know myself, and we know ourselves, and we may have forgotten, but we do know ourselves underneath, and not to be afraid of that power, really, of that confidence that we can feel in the certainty of knowing ourselves. So we can get through what we're going through now. And if you need help, then please call out for it. Call out for it, even just to spirit, to your loved ones in spirit. Call out and do that spread if it helps you. Write in your journal. Use your tools. This is when we need them the most. When we need this help, and when we are in that low, small space and we can't see a way out, that's when we need to use the tools that we've been accumulating probably for many, many years, if not decades, that we suddenly forget when we need them the most. So let's get the tools out. Let's get out those things and help ourselves use the things that support us or that can support us so that we can move through this period. It's not always going to be like this. It's just like this right now, because we're in this sort of this unknown, messy, muddy place that feels confusing and uncertain and strange and different. So it's temporary, and, you know, we can help ourselves. I'm going to play the singing bowl now. This is my quartz singing bowl. It aligns with the throat chakra, which is about communication, expression, and truth. And feeling safe to speak our truth, and feeling safe to be who we are. And in some cases, perhaps for some of us now, in remembering who we are, because for some reason we've forgotten our strengths and we've forgotten our power and we've forgotten the things that we're good at, and the bottom seems to have dropped out of us. So tapping back into that with the strength just of this throat chakra bowl could be quite empowering for us. But also to tap into that truth and that awareness that maybe we need help right now. Maybe you need help. Maybe you can't do it anymore on your own. Maybe you can't keep going down this path you've been going down. Maybe you need to stop and catch your breath and recalibrate yourself and reconnect with the things that are important to you. Maybe there is help there for you to recognize and see, so that you know in your heart that you're not alone. And that support is here for you. So I'm going to play the singing bowl. There's nothing you can do wrong. Just listen, take some big deep breaths, and let the sound of the bowl support you and hold you at this time, like you're being held in the arms of someone who loves you, or like the bowl is bringing you warmth, warming you up on a cold, depressive day. Or like the sound travels through the wind and the breeze as a beautiful, high-pitched, sort of like the singing of angels in your ears. And a real reminder that you're not alone. So If you need help, admit it to yourself. And that's where breakthrough can come and breakthrough can arrive for you. So take some nice big breaths and see how the bowl sits for you. Let's take a nice big breath and just allow yourself to settle into your body and into this moment, into your breath. And the potential that exists now for you to break through and move out of the things that have been pinning you down or holding you back or that you've been struggling with lately. So if you just joined in, I was playing the singing bowl and connecting with the energy of this card, card 77, called Call for Help. And it's from Healing Energy Cards, deck 2. My newest deck, actually. It hasn't been out for very long. So I'm going to pull a card to go. Before I do, I want to thank you so very much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this connection, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. Please connect privately via email if you'd prefer. Please have a look at my Facebook page and group because there are so many suppressed posts and videos. It's ridiculous. It's like, you know, it's usually suppressed, but the suppressed levels are really low. So I'm glad and grateful we've got 15 viewers, which is still pretty low, but it's better than 6 of my last 2 videos. So please have a look on my Temple of Balance Facebook page, my Temple of Balance private group. There are lots of posts that seem to have very few people seeing. So you might find something inspiring there, perhaps. If you want to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, if you'd like to support my work, if you'd like to grab yourself a deck of Healing Energy cards or some earrings or drums and meditations and artwork and supportive services, there's so many things on my website that I've been gathering and creating for the last 18 years. So please have a look if you're inspired to and if you resonate with my energy and my way. So thank you so much for being here. Let's grab a card to go. So I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need as we move forward from here, especially related to what's already been spoken about. So I'm thinking, how can we integrate or anchor or change or take action on things that we need to shift at this time that's holding us back, and what might be good for us to focus on over this next 24-ish hours. So the best card for what's next is this card here. It's from the second deck as well. It's this. Oh, I love this card. It's card 67, Emotional Rebirth. It's in the action category. So it's about action, movement, direction, focus, emotional rebirth. It just sounds beautiful. Down here it says, a new level of feeling. Allow how you feel about someone or something, including yourself, to change. Emotional transformation, flow, maturity, and a new perspective. So a new level of feeling. Are you willing to let go of how you feel currently? You know, if you feel a certain way, like an example might be maybe you feel bitter and angry about something that happened. Maybe you did something wrong or someone did something to you and you just feel anger and bitter about it. And maybe it's been going on for a while and you just struggle to get past this bitterness or this anger, just as an example. It could be any other emotion that you're holding in. Remember, emotions want to be in motion. Emotions are motion. They want to be in motion. So feelings want to move. They want to flow. They want to move. And it's not, or it's kind of, we create a stagnant energy usually when we're holding on to a feeling that we're not letting change and we're not letting move to a new feeling. This is something I find quite interesting about healing, like when I'm doing my own personal healing or working with others, and we might feel a certain way, and then as we soften that feeling and look into it, it flows and moves into another feeling. So that anger and letting it come up and letting it be expressed and whatever in a safe way can then shift to like a sadness or a disappointment that then moves to another feeling and another feeling, another feeling. So feelings want to be in motion. So it's kind of unnatural in a way for us to hold on to a feeling and then expect in some ways or think that we should be moving on from here or things should be happening in our life when they're not, and we suddenly feel or maybe feel stuck and stagnant. If I feel stuck or stagnant, I can almost guarantee 100% that I'm not listening to how I feel, that I'm stuck in some feeling and holding it in place and not letting myself free up from that state of feeling for whatever reason. And there might be good reason why we're holding on to our bitterness and anger or whatever it is we might be holding on to, but we're not letting the energy move and we're not letting the emotion take and run its course into the next feeling and the next feeling, which then ends up resolving itself. So let's be careful that we're not holding on into and keeping ourselves stuck and stagnant, and that we're letting ourselves feel our way through things, feel our way forward, feel our way through healing. And if you're in a low space and you need help and you're in that please help me stage, I'm so desperate for help because I can't see a way out, just communicating even to ourselves that we need help. Please help me. That's in my please help me spread. You shuffle the cards and you just please help me to the cards over and over again. And here we are communicating that we need help instead of needing help but not admitting that to ourselves, and then we keep pushing help away, and then we keep ourselves feeling hurt and we keep ourselves feeling stuck and stagnant. So even just by saying and admitting to ourselves that we need help, that gets the energy moving, because we're admitting that feeling that we need help, and we're communicating that to ourselves, and then that will flow into a new feeling, and then that helps things resolve as we feel our way through what we're going through. This is emotional rebirth, this card. So this is the unfurling and the opening of ourselves by letting ourselves feel our way through and not be afraid of or push away our feelings, even though sometimes they're difficult to face. This is why journal writing is very helpful for some of us, because we can express and blurt out all of our feelings in there without needing to find words, verbal words, and without even confronting people at times. We can express it all out in there and get the energy moving. So feeling our way forward may be helpful, and allowing how we feel about someone or something to change, so that we can move into a better place. So I'll leave that with you. Emotional rebirth moving forward. Action. It requires action. It's easy to stay stuck and bitter in some emotion and not let it move, but it doesn't feel good. What does feel good is to let it, the relief when we move out of that. It's okay to let how we feel about something to change. That's how we heal. That's how we grow. That's how we transform ourselves and improve who we are and our lives. So thanks so much for watching and connecting. I trust that something here has supported you. And please remember that you're not alone, that you are supported. And I'm confident that hopefully there are things that you can do to help yourself, help support yourself through this time period and come out the other side. The sunshine after a period of rain. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.